Evan, Chris Mark. So I'm very excited for this workout because I'm hoping that it can become a staple in your workout library so that when you are traveling, you know, I can go back to my hotel workout. We don't have to do it like all the time, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to Paris. Yes, I'm gonna do a nice little hotel workout before I go and explore the town. It's only gonna take like 45 minutes at most. And we're gonna get a great sweat that's just gonna energize us for the day, right? It's not gonna exhaust us. We're not like this workout is not going to be insanely exhausting. We're not doing any burpees today. Great. So I really hope that again this can be just a staple in your workout library. We're gonna get started really quick with a nice little warm up. We're gonna start with 10 squats. Let's find our shoulder width stance for our squats. My legs are quite sore today, so we'll take this nice and slow. And let's squat down, soften the knees and the hips back, keep that chest up. Evan, I totally agree with you. I can't wait to start traveling again. That's why I wanted to do this workout, just as like a glimmer of hope. Nice and slow. If you want to hang out at the bottom of your squat, that's totally fine. For those of you who are wanting to listen to the Spotify playlist, I'm on shuffle today. I didn't get a chance to add the new songs to the Spotify playlist. I asked for recommendations last night on my Instagram. And they will be on next week, I promise. Good, good. Think about really externally rotating your hips in this squat. Think about standing on a newspaper and trying to rip that newspaper apart with our adductors right here. So our outer butt is externally rotating, and I want that to be working the entire way down on the squat and the entire way up. That's going to make sure that we are really activating, that we're really gripping into the floor. If you feel like you're kind of like dropping into your squat, it means that we're not activating everything we need to be activating, right? So think about really ripping that newspaper apart, and then squat down, and then stand back up. Give me a few more squats. Whew, I'm sore. Good, good. We're gonna lay on our back for some ball crunches. Knees are up to the sky, hands are gonna be behind my head. I'm gonna bring my hips up off the ground and my shoulders. Here we go, and up. That's 1. 2. Warming up our core a little bit here. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Good, good. We're going to go into 5 ascending inchworms. So we're going to do 1 push-up for that first inchworm, and then add 1 inchworm for each inchworm. What am I saying? You're going to add 1 push-up for each inchworm that we do. So let's roll it down. Big stretch in our hamstrings. Find your push-up position. Give me 1 push-up, and then walk it back in. And roll it up. Good. Now we're going to do 2 push-ups. All the way up to 5. Three push-ups. Four push-ups. And 5 push-ups. Good, good. We're gonna do all of that one more time, starting with those squats. Good, good. Go into those ball crunches. Ooh. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Into those 5 ascending inchworms. Oh, I'm doing well. I really enjoyed the warm weather this week in New York. Very much excited for spring. How's everyone else feeling this week? Does it feel like we're in a good place? Three push-ups. Four push-ups. And 5 push-ups. Okay, good work. Now we're nice and warm. I just want to go over really quick what we're doing for the workout. So I'm going to go through very quickly just some technique for each of the movements that we're doing. You can do a few reps of each of the movements with me if you want to just get a sense of it in your body. But I do want to go through it really quickly because the workout is set up as an EMOM. We have 3 rounds of 10 movements. And some of the movements are a little bit more complicated that I don't want us to be spending time in the EMOM, like really figuring out the technique for how to do it. Okay, I do this because we're doing some towel pull-ups today. So first movement, you're gonna need that chair that I was saying. Don't worry, if you don't have a chair, that's totally fine. We have a scaling option for that. That's totally fine. So first one that we're going to be doing is some box step-ups. So for that box step-up, I know it seems like this is probably a very easy movement, but actually we can make this very difficult for ourselves. We want to make sure that every single rep, our full foot is on the box, and we're driving through our heel, not our toe. As much as we can focus on using this top leg rather than the bottom leg, that is going to really target our glute and make sure that we're getting the most out of this exercise. So it's really easy for me to use my bottom leg to jump up and stand, right? I want to think about really leaning into this front leg, squeezing my glute, driving through my heel, and standing up for that box step up every single rep, making sure my full foot is on the box, drive through the heel, really squeeze my glute, and stand up. We don't even really need to weigh this movement, and it's going to be hard. We can make it hard for ourselves. So I talk about this all the time. Sometimes a movement will seem very easy on the surface. We have to make it harder for ourselves, and that becomes a really, really great movement, especially if you're in a hotel room. So that's movement number 1. If you don't have a box, because this is the only movement that we're going to be using the box for, you're just going to give me reverse lunges, nice and slow. Think nice and slow on the way down, and then explode up, really squeeze your glute every single rep. Slow on the way down, gently tap your knee, really squeeze your butt every rep, okay? Minute 2 is going to be mountain climber push-ups. So you're going to be in that high plank position. You're going to go mountain climber, push-up, and then switch legs. Mountain climber, push-up. I don't need those mountain climbers to be fast, but I do want you to be getting your knee up to your chest as high as possible every single rep, okay? So I don't want to see like mountain climber. I want it to be, nope, I'm touching my chest, and then I'm doing a push-up, okay? Minute 3, we're going to be doing half bicycles. So we've done those half body crunches before where you're back on your elbows, you're bringing your knees up, and then straightening out your legs. Very similar for the half bicycle. You're going to be here, full lockout of the bottom leg, and then switch, and very much like the box step up. If you are not squeezing your core and being super deliberate about pulling your belly button to your spine, these are going to feel very easy. If you really squeeze, they can feel so much harder than actual bicycles because you're able to isolate your core so much more, and there's not so much excess movement. Minute 4, you're going to grab your towel that we have. You're going to roll it up the long way. And from here, I want you to sit up nice and tall. I don't want you to be against the wall. I just want you to sit up nice and tall. Your hands should be about shoulder width apart, or just outside of your shoulders. So this would be too narrow. I want to be nice and wide. And from here, I want to roll those shoulders back, lift that towel overhead, and then I want to think about doing a pull-up with the towel. I'm pulling apart on that towel as hard as possible. Give me a pull-up, and then back up. Give me a pull-up, and back up. So when I do that, I'm really engaging my upper back muscles. I'll show you from the side really quick. I'm overhead, my shoulders are down and back. I'm going to pull apart on that towel as hard as possible. I'm going to do a pull-up, and then back down. These are tough, so definitely you get as much out of it as you put into it. Seems like the moral of the story today. Fifth movement. It's going to be a Caustic Squat. So we've done these before. A nice wide stance, wider stance than you think. Turn out the toes, and from here, you're going to send your hips back. Keep your weight in your heel. Try and go down as low as possible. Keep that chest up, and then drive through the heel to come back to neutral. Then we'll switch legs. Making sure that that knee is trapping out over your toe. If your knee is starting to cape inward, that may mean that your stance is too narrow, and I really want you to think about externally rotating your hip, like we were talking about in the squat warm-up today. So think about really externally rotating that knee going out over your toe, back to neutral, and then over your toe, and back to neutral. That might mean that you're only going down this low today. That's totally fine. Number 6, towel bent over rows. You're going to keep the towel in that rolled up position. You're going to have an underhand grip. Roll those shoulders down and back. Soften the knees and the hips back as if you're doing a good morning position. And you're going to think about pulling apart on that towel, bringing that towel up to your belly button, and then full lockout at the bottom. Also very tough. All of the towel movements are very tough. Then, minute 7, we're going to go into some oblique heel taps. Feet are on the ground for this movement. Shoulders are off of the ground, and from here you're going to go to the right, neutral, left, neutral. Really squeezing your oblique every single rep. Trying to keep those shoulders as high off the ground as possible. Number 8, we're almost done, I promise, is going to be the towel bicep curl. So you're going to be in that underhand grip just like you were for the bent over row. Elbows are going to be glued to your side, so they're not out here, right? Glued to your side, shoulders are down and back. Pull apart on that towel as much as possible. Bicep curl, pause, slow on the way down, pause. Nine, we have the dead bug, laying on your back. Knees are up to the ceiling, hands are up to the ceiling, and you're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. Really squeezing your core, pulling your belly button to your spine. Again, these are as hard as you make them, and you can make them really tough. And then lastly, our last minute. If you were at our workout last week, you love these wall sits. And we're going to be doing a wall sit for 1 minute. Okay, any questions? We're going to start in about 1 minute. So if you do have any questions, put it in the chat box. We'll talk about it. But otherwise, get some water. Make sure you have your chair or your towel, and we'll get started. Let's do it. I think this one is going to be quite tough. I've done a workout that was very similar. I just subbed in 2 different movements, but I need a clock. Okay, so our first movement is going to be those box step-ups. We're going to be going for a minute. Going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Drive through the heel, really squeeze your butt. Switch legs. Think about that knee tracking out over your toe. Once again, really focused on your knee never caving in any of the movements that we're doing. Just being aware of that knee position so we can keep our knees nice and safe. Chris Mark, don't worry. I'll be giving you the movements as we go. And these pants are the ABC joggers from Lululemon. 10 seconds, then we're going to be going into those mountain climber push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Mountain climber, push-up. Mountain climber, push-up. Twenty seconds. 10. And switch half body bicycles. Here we go. Again, really squeezing every rep. These don't need to be fast, I'd prefer them not to be. Oh my God, these are burning. Versace on the Floor is on right now. I think it's one of the sexiest songs. I love it so much. "15 seconds, then we're going into those towel pull-ups. 10. 3, 2, 1. Grab that towel. Grip just outside of your shoulders. Start overhead. Roll the shoulders down and back. Pull part on that towel. It's really easy to stop pulling on that towel. Keep it pulled. 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Caustic squat. Here we go. Nice squat stance. Nice and controlled. It's totally fine for that opposite toe to come off the ground. That big stretch in your groin and your hamstring. Halfway. Next we have towel bent over rows. Three, two, one. Here we go. Underhand grip. Soften the knees and the hips back. Shoulders are down and back. Row to that belly button. Pull apart on that towel. Nice and slow here. Keep those shoulders down and back, halfway. Next we have those oblique heel taps. Keep on pulling apart on that towel, you got this. 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Oblique heel taps. Here we go. Shoulders as high up off the ground as possible. Coming back to neutral every rep. Once again, these don't need to be fast. Just controlled. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds. Going into towel bicep curls in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Underhand grip. Keep those elbows glued to your side. Pull apart on that towel, shoulders down and back. Need a break. Puff out that chest. Fifteen seconds. Three, two, one. Going into the dead bug. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Push your lower back into the floor. Pull your belly button to your spine. People love to do these with like bent legs, bent arms. Just don't. Focus on the technique. Straight arm, straight leg. Yes, this requires a little bit of coordination. That's good for us. Halfway. Find the coordination. Push your lower back into the floor. Bring your belly button to your spine, nice and slow. The prettiest dead bug you've ever seen. 10 seconds, then we're going to go into that wall sit. Wall sit, here we go. To make a 90-degree angle with your legs. Hands should be down by your sides, not resting on our legs, right? Drive through the heels. We're going to go directly into that box step up after this. So this workout comes directly from my online training program, Lightning Fitness program. And if you haven't checked it out yet, we have a 7-day free trial where you can figure out if the program is right for you, because I don't want you to be doing the program if it's not a good fit for you, right? So definitely try out the 7-day free trial on my website, www.lightninghealth.com, Leichtning health.com. And again, I just want to see, or I want you to be able to see if it's right for you. So give it a try. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Box step ups, here we go. We've got some pretty big changes coming to Lightning Fitness program. And I'm very excited to announce. Think about really driving through the heel here. Focus on your knee placement. And that announcement may have to do with gyms reopening. So it's very exciting. I'm excited to share with you in the next couple weeks. Good, that's good. 10 seconds, we're going to go into those mountain climber push-ups. Really focusing again with this box step up, really not trying to use that bottom leg. Drive through the heel and come up. Here we go, mountain climber push-ups. Mountain climber, push-up. So this week, I made a TikTok about proprioception. And proprioception basically just means an awareness of your body. So like the ability for you to be walking on the sidewalk and then walk off the curb onto the street without falling, that's proprioception, right? It's just a realization of how our body moves. And it's something that we can train. It's something that's super important so that, you know, as we get older, we don't have falls. Going into half bicycles in 3, 2, 1, here we go. But I was getting a lot of questions about how we can train it, right? Like, okay, we can be aware of our bodies, but like, how do we train that at the gym? And all of these cues that I'm giving you during this workout, like drive through the heel, really focus on trying to not use that bottom leg, making sure that your knees are always tracking out over your toes and that they're not caving inward. That's how we train proprioception. It's just thinking about every movement that you're doing. Is there an anatomically correct position that my body should be in? And not only does that give you a better workout, it gives you a better awareness of your body so that everything's moving properly, everything's working in the right way. And that really is going to be such a good thing for longevity. 5 seconds. We're going to do those towel pull-ups. Here we go. So, I gave you that protein challenge a few weeks ago. This is going to be your challenge this week. Shoulders are down and back. Pull down, pull apart on that towel, pull up. Your challenge this week is to focus on proprioception. Everything you're doing, from sitting in your chair at work, to doing these movements, to standing up from the couch, I want you to focus on your body mechanics, your movement mechanics. Focus on your proprioception, okay? That's your goal for this week. 15 seconds. 5. Going into Caustic Squats. Here we go. Evan, no, we're not taking a break today. We're being nice and consistent with our movement. Focus on that knee position, focus on driving with your heel, focus on keeping your, your chest up. Going into those towel bent over rows in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, underhand grip. Roll those shoulders down and back. Soften the knees and the hips back. Row to your belly button, pull apart on that towel. Nice and slow on the way down. Elbows should be close to your body, not flaring out to the side. Quick break. Really easy to do these towel movements and then stop pulling on the towel and just keep on doing the movement, right? Really focus on pulling that towel apart. If you're reaching a point where you can't pull that towel apart anymore, take a rest. I would much prefer that than just going through the motions here. 3, 2, 1. Oblique heel taps. Shoulders off the ground. Twenty seconds. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1. Bicep curls. Shoulders are down and back. Pull apart on that towel. Elbows glued to your side. Here we go. Knees should be soft. Halfway. Puff out that chest, pull apart on that towel. Starting to get very sweaty. 10 seconds. We're going to go to that dead bug. Again, prettiest dead bugs you've ever seen. And go. Lower back, pushed into the floor. Belly button to your spine, really squeezing. Really working those transverse abdominis. Those abs that are responsible for keeping our spinal column up. Oh yes, they are important. And we have to work them. We have to train them to be strong. 5. Going into a wall sit in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So, this month I'm asking for donations to an amazing organization called Diversify Dietetics. They're an organization giving sponsorships and scholarships to people of color who are looking to go into the nutrition and dietitian field. So we have this giant problem where the dietitian field is a super privileged field. It costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of time and internships after you finish college, and it makes it so that the field is primarily white, and these white dietitians are serving communities that are not at all representative of the actual dietitians, right? So 2, 1, into those step-ups. I should say the communities that they, what am I trying to say? Communities that they are serving are not representative of, the dietitians are not representative of the communities that they are serving. That's what I was going for. And so this organization is just so important so that we can really widen the field and make sure that the nutrition field and dietitian field can continue to move forward and not be such a place of privilege. If you are willing and able, 10 more seconds, really focus on that glute. Definitely go to the link in my bio, Diversify Dietetics, check them out. And I'd be really appreciative if you could donate going into those mountain climber push-ups. Mountain climber, push-up. Mountain climber, push-up. Here's our last round. Keep everything consistent. Take rest when you need it, but movement quality should be 100%. That's good, 10 more seconds. Two, 1, half bicycles. Really squeeze, full control. If you've been reading our book club book for March, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, we have our book club for the first half of the book tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. The link to that will be on my Instagram story tomorrow. Even if you didn't read it, you can come and join us, listen to the conversation. The book is just unbelievable. It's so important. And we'd love to see you there. Going into towel pull-ups in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Use that towel to wipe off some sweat. And here we go. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders are down and back. Pull apart on that towel. Pull up. Halfway. Fifteen seconds. Caustic squats are next. Keep that chest up. Let's increase the intensity a little bit. Halfway. How are we doing? Okay. 10 seconds. We're almost done with this workout, y'all. You've been killing it. Let's do it. 5. Bent over rows in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Shoulders down and back. Soften the knees and the hips back. You'll find that rolling your shoulders down and back before you do virtually any movement is a really good call. It's going to seat our shoulders in a really strong position. We love to bring our shoulders up to our ears, right? Get our traps involved. But reminding yourself to roll those shoulders down and back, that's always really, really strong. Pull apart on that towel. I'm starting to relax a little bit. It's not good. Pull apart. Here we go. 20 seconds. Make sure that lower back is staying nice and tight. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oblique heel taps. Oh my God. Keep on pushing. My abs are on fire. 10 seconds. We're going into those tall bicep curls. Just 3 minutes to go. 3, 2, 1. Roll those shoulders down and back. Keep those elbows good to your side. Pull apart on that towel. Nice and slow on the way down, slow on the way up. Puff out that chest. Take a break when you need it. 25 seconds. Okay. Ten. 5, 3, 2, 1. Dead bug. Here we go. Two minutes left. Lower back into the floor. Belly button to the spine, full lockout of the leg and arm every rep. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds. Going to that wall sit in 3, 2, 1. Last minute. Let's do it. I was going to check in with y'all to see how the plastic challenge is going. It's definitely not going well for me. Jared and I have just found that grocery shopping is so unbelievably difficult trying not to use single-use plastic. For those of you who don't know, I do a challenge every month, and this month's challenge is trying not to use single-use plastic, and I probably had like 5 days out of the month so far that I've been able to do that, and that's basically just because I haven't left the house for those days. So grocery shopping without the use of single-use plastic has like really screwed up how we eat, and that is we've been having to come up with some solutions that don't necessarily eliminate single-use plastic, but that greatly reduce it. So, and rest. That was 30 minutes. Okay, so let's do some mobility. Let's cool down a bit. Good work. Let's go into some upward facing dog. Stretch out our abs a little bit. Oh, I know. So one of the things that we've been doing is we have like a designated bag for meat now. So like we have a reusable grocery bag that we only put our meat in, so that they don't have to like double wrap it in plastic. We've gotten some like mesh baggies to put our produce in. But like, for example, I got honey the other day, and I was looking for an option that was in a glass jar so that I wouldn't have to buy plastic, and Jared loves to reuse glass jars, so good, let's go into child's pose. And every glass option has plastic around the top, like securing it. So you're like, even when you try and eliminate plastic, there's still plastic there. It's tough. This is a tough challenge this month, but it's definitely made us more cognizant and more aware of our plastic consumption, and I'm really happy about that, even though we haven't been perfect at all. Okay, we're going to come into a lunge position. So for this lunge position, we want our knee to be directly underneath our hip. We want this front knee to be directly over our ankle. We don't want to be in this shoving position, right? Putting our hip in a position that we don't necessarily need it in, right? So we want to stay in this. This should be a very comfortable position for you. I want you to think about pulling your belly button to your spine, keeping your chest up, and then from here, this can be complicated. I want you to send your hips back and arch your back. So you'll see my back has a nice arch right now. You shouldn't feel a big stretch right now, maybe a little bit in your lower back, but shouldn't be a big stretch. And then I want you to do the opposite. I want you to tuck your hips underneath. And that, squeezing your butt right there, pushing your back foot into the floor, that should feel a big stretch in your hip flexor right here. You want to hold that there for a few seconds, and then I want you to relax and send your hips back into that arch again. So again, I'm not shoving my hips forward to feel that stretch. I'm really just moving my pelvis back, and then I'm tucking it under, really squeezing my butt, really feeling that big stretch in my hip flexor. Give me a few more of those. Send your hips back. Good, and then we're going to switch legs. Same thing. You're going to send your hips back into an arch, and then tuck underneath. Feel that big stretch in your hip flexors. This is called contract release. We're releasing here, and then we're going to contract, right? As opposed to just like finding a deep lunge and holding it there, that kind of static stretching. It does a really good job of lengthening our ligaments and our tendons, right? But we don't necessarily want to lengthen them if we're not stabilizing them. So this does a really good job of lengthening and stabilizing at the same time. Because if we lengthen too much, then we become super unstable, and that's when we injure ourselves, right? Give me a few more tucks on this side. Good, good. Come on up. Find your wide Cossack Squat stance for me. And I want you to roll it down. Try and touch your hands to the ground. In this position, I want you to roll into your Cossack position. Feel that big stretch in your hamstring. And then come back to neutral. Walk your hands over to the left. And then go back into that Cossack Squat position. Should be a big stretch in your hips, in your hamstring, in your groin. Back to neutral. To the right. You should be able to get a little bit lower than you would when you're just doing a Cossack Squat, right? Back to neutral. Good, one more on each side. Back to neutral, and then left. Back to neutral. Cross your elbows. Let your elbows pull you down. Hands back on the ground, bring your feet together. And I want you to roll it up. Really, really good work today, y'all. I hope that you can save this workout. I hope that we can all use it soon when we're traveling. Crossing our fingers that everything really opens up quickly and that we can all be safe and get back to some really cool travels. I'll talk to you soon. Again, I hope that you join us for our book club. I hope that you're joining us for our plastic challenge, and definitely check out Diversified Dietetics. They are such an amazing organization. I'd really appreciate it. If you have a second, like this video. That is so helpful for my channel, and it's really just, I would really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye Ben, bye Sam, bye Luke, Spencer, Aiden, Awab, Reggie, Brandon. Thanks for working out with me. Teresa, I'll talk to you later. Oh, and we're talking about creatine on Monday on the vlog. Very exciting. You're going to get to part 3, Evan, for the book club. Thanks, John, Evan, Chris, Mark, Mickey, Shane, Scott. Y'all are great. Thanks. Bye, all.